Hey everyone, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is the 10 for 1,000 watch list for the week of May 14th. I will start off by saying Happy Mother's Day for all the mothers out there. Hope you enjoy your Sunday and have a great day. This video comes to you Saturday night. I'm probably gonna, I've been here all day and I have a lot to go over with you. Lots of news, lots of situations going on in the market, and a very interesting watch list to put the top things off. So I want to jump right into it. There's a lot of news out there that's really affecting this market and giving this market a hard time to have any confidence. The confidence in the market is something that I'm noticing. We look at the chart here. This is the S&P 500 chart. It really doesn't look that bad. It does look like we're in this corrective phase in this channel, pulling back. But it's also, in a situation where we could actually be flagging out. These type of consolidations tend to be flags, and they tend to move up out of these positions. Some cases, if you're of a more topping pattern, starts to roll over a little bit more, then you could get that correction. But the truth is, it is what it is. Whatever the market's going to do, you always look back and then you're able to identify that pattern. At the point where we get here, we try to identify the best probability directional areas of the market and what's going to move. So we're going to talk about that, but I'm also going to put out there that this week, coming into this week, is more of a gamble on trying to decide which way the market's going to go because of the outstanding news. First of all, I would say the top of the news would be the Greece situation. Trying to form a new government in Greece, and they're being forced to try one more time to let me get the information up in front of me here, so I have it for you. Greece's president will meet with political parties tomorrow, Sunday, in a last-ditch effort to broker a deal for a coalition government and avoid another general election. So this is something that's been bothering the market for the last couple weeks, and also, what happens to their bailout? What happens to the loans to Greece if they don't have a government? And if they don't have a loan, then they have to drop out of the Eurozone. And what's going to be caused? All this uncertainty is something that we've experienced already, and we know how the market reacts to that. That's when the market starts to move, get very jittery. These levels here, the market gets very jittery when we have the downgrades and the issues in Greece and stuff. And when things kind of settle out and move up, and they got the loans, we started rallying out. And now we're back into the situation. Everything's on the table again. And not to mention, now we have news, again, another confidence blow to the banking sector with JP Morgan's news last week. Even though, you take the news, as it is, it's out there now. It's not the end of the world. But it just shows you there's still, what I'm, in the back of my mind as a trader and someone who deals with the market every single day of basically of my life, I notice the lack of confidence going forward in the market. Like, who's going to believe in certain companies that, continue to, get touted on TV as the best in breed and this, the golden boys and the, smartest guy in the room. And the next thing you know, the smartest guy in the room is coming out saying, well, we just, we got ourselves stuck in a, and surprise, it's just a big surprise. And it, for a short-term trader, again, we look at stocks each and every day, so we see these moves, and it's like, wow, you concentrate on that, you feel the pressure, and you get into that move. And then Monday will be an up day, and then everyone's, so it's day by day. And because we're so putting this market under the microscope, magnifying glass, it's very difficult to deal with all the ups and downs. So until we get past this Greece situation, there's going to be that potential choppiness here. You're going to have this up and down news coming out. We play the news on the radio. You hear something, someone makes a comment out in Greece, and the market will spike up a couple points. The futures will spike or drop, and it just gets very volatile if you're watching it on a tick-by-tick basis. And we have to pull away from that. We have to look more at the long term, and that's what I want to do right now. I want to start, trying to not give ourselves ulcers in this market in these conditions. I mean, we have the Greece overhanging us. We have the JP Morgan overhanging us. We probably have the Eurozone issue with Greece overhanging us. Spain and Italy, Portugal will come next, and what happens if Greece does fall off? That is bad news for the market. Until anything that's unknown in the market reacts into that situation where it's better to sell off and correct, and people get very jittery, and you're not seeing that. No one's willing to step up here. So I want to see that that signal that maybe things are clearing up. I think if we get an announcement of a Greece government, coalition government, I think that's going to help the market a lot. If it doesn't, I think that's going to again put us into that choppy zone with a downward bias. Now we left off on Friday with an interesting pattern on the 60-minute chart. This is strictly a bearish flag, and kind of track this throughout the day. It's like, oh, it's a big bearish flag, but it's happening over multiple days. Over the last week it actually happened. So it was very choppy. It was up, then it was down, then it grind back up, and then we started dropping back down. And we haven't really broken, but you can feel the momentum starting to roll over. This is a great chart because this is exactly how you want to read into a flag, be it a bearish flag or a bullish flag. And just again, to recap those, a bullish flag is a continuation pattern. It could be basically something like this. The price goes up, and it comes back, and it consolidates, and then it finally breaks back out. And the bearish flag is basically, something like this. The price level comes down, boom, 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 and it kind of bounces up, and it kind of grinds back up until you get a little overbought, and then it kind of comes back down like that. So that's what we have here. You can see it's a clear bearish flag. And with the news out there, if there was good news, there's definitely a shot of this breaking out to the upside. So I always say patterns and technical analysis always gets trumped by news. If everything was as it is, this looks like a classic flag, a bearish flag, and it looks like we need to get that rotation back down here into an oversold, and this is going to bring us down a little. All right, so that's what the chart is telling us. The news comes out on Sunday on Greece, could play a different part of this. So that's that's how I'm seeing it. If I can make an educated guess, I would say we have a kind of a down day Monday and an up day Tuesday. I would say this pattern plays out a little bit more, but it's really based on the news. I think news is going to come out and kind of decide what's going to happen. But let's say the news is going to be bad and we get this breakdown, and then Tuesday rally. So right now I'm going to be looking at the Monday downward move, Tuesday rally. Just throwing it out there. I like to do that. All right, just doing it out there. Also, we have the the so-called adage, the sell in May and go away, and we talked about the May trade a couple weeks ago when we started going into May, and how we saw the May setup over the last 3 Mays. Here was May 2009. Here was May 2000, or actually 2010. Here's May 2011, and here's May 2012, and we're pulling back. Of course, we're pulling back, and you can see that weekly stochastics are pulling back. So everything pointed to the downside here. It is. It is not a pretty picture. All right, so that's more of a weekly chart. And here's again. But remember, weekly charts have a range, daily charts have a range, 60-minute charts have a range, and we want to trade those ranges and those bounces. So even in a downward, move in the market, you could still, you could get these moves to the upside, and then you get moves to the downside and upside, and this could play over days, even weeks. So we're in a slight little channel. I think this is an important level. The 60-minute was definitely a negative, and we're going to go into Monday with that negative bias on in front of us. And once we kind of come back into an oversold level, I'm going to reevaluate it. Maybe that's Tuesday, maybe it's later Monday, and we'll take a look at the conditions in the market and stuff. So right now, going forward, I want to actually going to give you a little different type of watch list today, and I think you're going to like it. I put a lot of research into this list. And we're gonna look at some very bullish stocks and some very bearish stocks, and some new stocks, some new ones that that I haven't talked about, but I've done done some pretty good research on these. and they're going to give us a different angle to the market. But I do feel that the older school stocks, even though they are, the bigger names and stuff, are feeling the bigger pressure. So I want to look at the some stocks that are actually well-performing quality stocks that seem to be attracting money and continue to move higher. So we're going to look at some of those today. Let's just get into it. Let's start things off here.